Holy chat. Rambler. Look at you go. There's so many comments in here. That's cool. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? Good afternoon. Sorry about the pushback of 30 minutes. I was working with the firefighters out in Hayward right before this, and traffic's always a little dicey. And also, too, there's never like a defined time of when I'm like leaving from them and stuff. So we're kind of just, you guys are kind of just along for the ride with my schedule here. Holy crap. I'm trying to I'm trying to read through some of these comments. You guys are just kind of like chatting amongst yourselves for a little bit here. That's cool. Oh, Chris G with the bats. It's always scary. You see those bats pop up in your comment section. You're like, oh shit, what happened? Um, oh yeah, Rambler, right? That was crazy. Have you guys seen what happened that cruise ship like lost power and lost control and then ran into that bridge in Baltimore about 1:30 a.m. this morning, and the whole entire thing collapsed. Like collapsed crazy fast too. If you haven't seen that, um, well, I'll show it for you here in a minute. But yeah, it was man. I hope everybody that was involved in the search and rescue was about their wits, and hopefully the people that were involved in that end up okay somehow. But that shit was nuts. Um, Hi everybody. Yeah, Coffee Wads and Pod shirt. What's up? Go ahead and get yours. Official, non-official sponsor of the show. Head on over to Vindicate and get your Coffee Wads and Pods. I like, in my opinion, the Seafoam Green. Mix it up a little bit. I think I like black and something else. But of course, the show is officially brought to you by, if I could find it here, you know it, Matuthian. Matuthian tooth powder, 1 out of 10 dentist recommend. If you haven't bought it today, then you're doing yourself an injustice. Get it. Get the Matuthian, put it in your mouth, and everything becomes better. 10% more in your income. It just happens. You use Matuthium, you make 10% more. 10% better friendships, relationships, everything. It just improves your life by 10%. Odd. How fast does Dale deliver? Fast as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I want to have this censor button because sometimes when I do the commercials, it feels more proper to use a censor button. Where is the censor button? He ships as fast as a okay. It's like the if you guys have listened to this just on Apple or like Spotify, you have to listen to all my crazy like ad reads and stuff, and I constantly use this and just be like, well, what the? And I like my little censor button. It's kind of funny. So anyhow, yeah, it ships. It ships fast. Whatever. It's cool. Even to Isle of Man. Rambler states, says this observer here. So we got some topics we're going to be getting into today. I'm clicking all the buttons here. We're going to talk CrossFit's new CMO. Haven't really discussed it. Barbell spin, covered it very early on. So we'll head over to the Instagram there. We'll kind of react to some of the comments. And then we'll go over to LinkedIn. We'll read her bio. We'll read a little bit about from her. We'll kind of check out and investigate her, what she did in the past and stuff like that, and see what type of impact she will have with us here at CrossFit. We're also going to talk the Diddy scandal. If it is a scandal, that dude's weird. If all these rappers say the same shit about you, especially that Cat Williams, have you guys seen the Cat Williams on Shannon Sharp? Yeah, Shannon Sharp's thing. I think that podcast had like 58 million views or just something insane, right? If you guys haven't seen that, he talked a little bit about Diddy and some of those actions that are happening. Yeah, Cat. Yeah, Corey Leonard, Cat lit that dude up. He sure did. That if you guys haven't seen that podcast, it's a little long, but it does not disappoint. And of course, if you're a Cat Williams fan like I am, dude's hilarious. So there's a ton of funny moments in that as well too. Um, oh, awesome. Froggy Will. Sousa, thanks so much for your advice last week. Interview went super well. Got a trial shift on Thursday night. Jim has a full progressions through all CF CrossFit or through all CF courses to eventually funding the CFL one. That's awesome. I'm really glad your interview went well, Froggy. I hope that we helped you out here on the show with talking about some questions and different things like like that you could bring up in the interview that would make it a two-way street. Too much we get too wrapped up in like, oh, the interview, I have to answer everything correctly. No, you also have to have intelligent questions. For me, that's one of the first things I look for. Jonathan Ortega, what's up, brother? Cat Williams said, I'm not compromising myself for 50K. Hilarious. I don't know what any of that meant. I don't know what your comment meant about not knowing what any of what I said meant. Now look at us, a stalemate. Maybe you're referring to Froggy. Jim has full progressions through all CrossFit courses to eventually funding the CFL4. If in fact that was what you were referring to, Odd, I'm thinking he means like once you come into the gym, if you're coaching and stuff like that, they'll help you with your continued education and invest in you as you continue to invest in their gym. Savon called Grace Souza's having a stroke. No. Audrey, yes, I don't understand froggies. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out because I think that's what he meant. The wording was a little confusing. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's what I meant. Who is they? They is the CrossFit gym that he interviewed at last weekend. He's giving us an update. Come on. I don't have that many inside things to follow here. It's not that hard. But last week, Froggy asked us for a little advice. He was coming in to interview at a CrossFit gym. So we gave him some tips, some pointers, and he was reporting back. And one of the things was that, I asked if they invested in coaches' continuing education. I think that's one of the things that's important. And if the gym offers that, they are investing in their coaches, which in turn is just an investment back in the gym. Better coaches, better experience, more members, all that. Be glad I'm here instead of Brian's live right now. Wow, coming from you, I'm really glad about that. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Diddy. We're going to talk a little bit about CrossFit CMO. I'll kind of give you guys my opinion on it. And we'll also talk a little bit about negative capability. Have you guys heard that term before? Negative capability? I had so much more stuff that I was gonna prepare around that. You'll kind of bear with me on it. I studied up a little bit about it, but I found it fascinating. And we'll kind of go over the chart about what negative capability is, and hopefully that'll be the piece of the show that you guys could take away something with it and apply it to your lives, as I do mine. First, we're gonna start with this though. I'm curious, and you guys have to let me know in the comment section. Would you go to this place? I think majority of you have probably seen it by now. But if you haven't, here we go.
Zamaya is a tropical fitness sanctuary where people can come and totally immerse themselves in their own optimal physical development, while surrounded by a like-minded community of people and also just in a beautiful location. So back when Zamaya was just an idea in my mind, I always had the vision of trying to create a training space that really transported people into an environment far beyond what they imagined a regular training facility could be. Something that really had a lasting visual impact, and just training there in itself would be an experience that would really stick with people after they left.
What do you guys think? Would you go? Are you guys into that? Do you think that that's cool, or do you think it's lame? I'm curious. At first glance, I think it's pretty cool because like any like super nice facility around that, like dedicated to like fitness and like working out and have a bunch of different like spots where you could do different workouts and stuff, is always interesting to me. But I wonder how it goes. I wonder what that's like. Justin, nope. Wanna love Disney? Okay. Alex Peters, hell yeah. All right, Alex and I will be there. The rest of you guys. Jonathan Ortega, rather go to Bali to that CrossFit gym. Justin, how do you pronounce your last name? Lang. Maybe the I is silent. Looks expensive. It does look expensive. Not only does it look expensive, it has to be expensive to attend because they dumped a shitload of money into that thing to build it. I wonder how much that cost to build. But yeah. Fine, I'll move there with you. Okay, cool. We got a crew. 2 chicks or 2 dudes and 1 chick. Ratio's a little off, but we got a crew to go. Andrew Mora, Souza, any opinions on CrossFit's educators course? Great question. I haven't looked into it enough to lend an opinion. I haven't looked into it enough yet. So yeah, I was curious what you guys thought that I think it'd be cool. Like, you guys remember Karen Thompson? She ran the CrossFit for Health Summit. She also did the Gabrielle Lyons event, Forever Strong, at the same exact spot. I think that would be like a cool location for one of her events, right? Like you go and kind of be immersed and like listen to these different lectures and do these workouts afterwards. And like, I think it'd be awesome to have some like bio kind of tech stuff there. So you could like monitor your like glycogen. You could have like some of the whatever heart rate crap if you wanted to. You get your blood work done, stuff like that. So like you might listen to one of these subject matter experts speak about whatever it is. Let's have something that pertains to diet that'll affect your blood work in a certain way. Like you could get your blood work there, get your results like within the weekend or something like that. Learn some of the information that you're getting and then like apply it. I think that stuff would be cool, and that would be a dope location. Rosy View Photography, 70s Trip. Yeah, that might be fun. I bet you they have a dope like lecture hall set up and we could run a live podcast or something there. That would be cool. Jeffrey Birchfield, what's up, brother? I sent Sev on the email. Cool. I don't know what that's in reference to. Maybe about that place or something, but cool. Cool. I am definitely curious about how much it would cost for a night there. Oh boy, look. Is that Hopper's like yearbook photo or something? Braylon Tender coach. Yes, Alex. If you'd like to attend, feel free to reach out to me. Probably not talking about his thing. Oh, for the educators course. Jeffrey Birchfield, I sent Savon the email about the educators course. Did you take it already? That's what I'd be curious is to hear from. Obviously, I'll give my opinion on it at some point, but to hear from somebody who might actually be teaching it and applying it, that would be interesting. I wonder what it's all about. Is it like a CrossFit Kids thing or something like that? I don't know. I guess we just gotta look into it. Jeffrey Birchfield, nope, not yet. Okay, cool. We'll find out. Okay, another little tidbit here. You guys know me, huge on California, big California guy, and we're setting records. Last year, we set the record for the most amount of people that moved out of the state. This year, this year we're rocking and rolling with California reaches the highest unemployment rate in the United States because Gavin Newsom is a winner and he just wins. That's what he does. Crab cakes and football. This is absolutely insane. Like in the California politicians like being on the assembly room floor. I don't even remember when that was. Was that last week when I was there with Dave or whatever? And watching how those politicians like work is crazy. You have 53 Democrats and you had 6 Republicans or something like that, or it might have been like 8 and 54 or whatever, right? And nothing gets accomplished in terms of like finding a synergy. It's all we're going to stick with our team and we're going to push forward the agenda of our team, and there's literally no room or you have no say in having another opinion or anything like that, which is nuts. And to watch that happen on the assembly room floor and like see it play out in real time. And then also I captured this on film. There was a Assemblyman Bill Saley, got his last name dialed in now, right? Bill Saley had a conversation with this woman. He called her Miss Recorder. I'm not familiar enough with like all the different titles, but she came out and they had this conversation about what CrossFit actually was. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. Then she walks away and Bill was like, Assemblyman Saley was like, yeah, she's a writer for Politico.com or Politico.org or whatever the website was. And I used that article to show you guys like the slant that was put on. It was like CrossFit Appreciation Day. You would figure like everybody would be behind people taking personal responsibility for their health and like working out and doing stuff. But she put like this negative slant on it. And then wrote the article. But it was interesting because I caught the conversation on film. So to take that piece, the actual conversation that happened, compare it up to the article that she wrote, and then kind of look at like the totality of what happened, you could like see this like shitty game of telephone as it comes right out through the media, and just like everybody puts their spin on it and tries to apply their own narrative. And it was just nuts watching that play out in real time and being able to sit there, because like sometimes we get this shit in our heads that like, oh, it's these politicians or these, it's like, it's just people. making decisions, having conversations, and also internally battling for their position within their team, within their party. I want ascension. I want to like do this. So there's no bipartisan. And what that means is there's no people actually looking out for the self-interest of the public. Like who the policies that they're constructing inside this places and the lives that those affect of those people, there is such a big gap between what they do and how that applies to the people that actually have to deal with the policies, that I think if we all really paid attention to that in the way that the government prints money in the invisible taxation of inflation, and we truly understood it, there would be a revolution tomorrow. Like there would have to be, because we think it's something different than it is. And once you kind of pull back the curtain and look behind everything and see how the sausage is made, you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is how this goes down. And yeah, so when you have people jockeying for political position within their party, you get failed policies. You get a failed state. We're starting to see more and more business move out of California. We're starting to see the homeless rate, or the mental health problem, the drug addiction problem rise to levels we've never seen before, with zero plan as to what they're going to do with those people. And then now on top of that, we have the California reaches the highest unemployment rate in the US. Congratulations, Newsom. True leadership here. And I'm sure you'll absolutely spin it. You'll probably blame it on some other shit when we all know it's your fault. And I'm glad we're continuously dumping money into your bullet train that's going to run from wherever the fuck, Fresno to Bakersfield, two places nobody ever goes to in California. Great job. Nailed it. By the way, have you even broken ground or started on it? No, but you've funded it for billions? Yeah. Yeah. This dude cannot become president. This will be fucking dangerous if this guy makes his run. And I think he's going to. You guys heard me make that prediction last time. I was like, I think we're going to see something happen with Biden. There'll be some sort of medical this or medical that, and they'll pull him out last minute, saying he's unfit to run. And they're going to slide Gavin Newsom right on in there. And that slime ball cannot be president. I don't, it does, like, we're not even going to talk Democrat versus Republican here. We're just going to strictly talk results. What result has he brought to California? Terrible one. So, anyways, winners over here in California, rocking it out with the highest unemployment rate of the state. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Okay, so let's talk a minute about the Diddy raid here. Savant had said last time when he brought it up on the show, he was like, they kept mentioning like allegations for sex trafficking. And it's kind of interesting because we saw a similar thing play out with Andrew Tate. You guys remember that guy? He like took the whole entire internet by a storm. And he was, everybody claimed he was like this misogynistic, whatever, like hyper toxic masculinity, whatever you wanted to label him as. And then he got raided and he was put in Romanian prison for a long time under sex trafficking allegations. And then they just had to release him because there was nothing there. Well, it's interesting that this is happening with Diddy, because it's kind of under the same play that there's nothing you could like grasp and hold on to be like, that's what he did for sexual trafficking. At least we don't know about it yet. They haven't really released that to us yet. But it's kind of the same playbook. The only difference between Andrew Tate and the Diddy thing is that multiple rappers have come out and said that Diddy's up to no good. 50 Cent, like if you guys will cruise over to 50 Cent's Instagram real quick, like if he's just having a field day with this. 50 was one of the first people that called him out. If you guys watch like the Breakfast Club stuff back in the day with like Charlemagne the God, that one chick, and I forget the other guy's name, the other DJ there. There was like this clip that they showed where it was like 50 Cent was talking. He's like, yeah, Diddy tried to take me out shopping. And he like looks around. He's like, I'm a grown ass man. I could buy my own clothes. And when they confronted Diddy on it, they're like, didn't you say you were going to take 50 Cent shopping? Why would you do that? He's just like, he looked like he needed some clothes. Whole thing seems a bit sketchy. Yeah. Yes. Augustus. Yeah. Meek Mill called them out too. That's right. There's a bunch of them. I mean, Cat Williams, 50 Cent, Meek Mill. More and more people are coming out that like, I don't know, you got like a Diddy hug or something. Wasn't that one of the other phrases that they used? That shit's sketchy. That is sketchy. Diddy's past is shady as where's my shady as yeah, he's right. 12 daily doses. Pat Lang. Andrew Tate didn't flee the country though. Didn't Andrew Tate flee the country? Not the first time, but I think he had plans to like because I think he's arrested again right now, and I think he had plans to flee the country or something happened, so they came back in and arrested him again because I think that whole trial is pending. Super interesting. And he's claiming that it's basically the Matrix, quote unquote, like taking him out because he had too much influence. Andrew Tate, I'm talking about right now, he had too much influence with like the younger general sexual allegation charges, raided his home, put him in jail. Um, but yeah, what Eric Wise, Susie, I just sent the Savon Podcast Instagram a list of what he's being accused of. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So we'll pull that up here in a second. I'll be able to act like that. 1 second. So we'll watch this. This was like that first clip that was released here, whatever, yesterday or whatever. And of course,
this information from, we were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this sources on scene here that we're getting this information from, we were actually the first ones here with about.
What do you guys think? You think they found anything crazy in the house? Like, you remember the old when they raided all the Epstein stuff and he had like that weird painting of Bill Clinton inside wearing like high heels. I think inside the Monica Lewinsky, like he was wearing the Monica Lewinsky dress inside one of his like $70 million houses in New York. And it was like this huge freaking painting of him that was just right in the hallway, like weird shit like that. I wonder if there's anything like that inside happening inside Diddy's house. Get like a weird painting of like 50 Cent or something. I'm trying to find the messages. Eric, perfect. Thank you for sending them over. Okay, dope. Got it. Let's bring it up. So this is hot off the press here. You guys could thank Eric for, what was this comment? You guys can thank Eric here for bringing us the real news. So joins later is irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms. Okay, so drugs. Displaying and distributing unregistered legal firearms. Okay, no sex stuff there. Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, in Florida. Oh, that's going to be a fucking big no-no. Can't go drugging minors. What the Mr. Combs, chief of staff, Christina, aka KK, Christina Coram, instructing her staff to retrieve drugs so she can provide them for for P. Diddy for his consumption. Okay, so she was out making staff members buy drugs for him. Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Is that his brother or something, Christian? Diddy detailing out how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassidy Ventura's lawsuit. So he's trying to get like PR moves here. Young Miami's cousin, indoor assistant, sexually assaulted Mr. Jones. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. sexually harassing and assaulting Mr. Jones. Rapper redacted. Oh, interesting. On Mr. Combs's yacht, consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and R&B singer. Mr. Combs in Mr. Combs's Los Angeles home, consorting with underage girls and sex workers. Wow. All right. Well, there you have it. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for bringing us the news there. So that was it. So drugging people, getting drugs, hanging out and doing weird sexual acts with minors, drugging other people. Wow. Oh, it's a scroll through picture. I don't know. Do we have the pictures? Oh, the rest of it's just outlined in the documents. Oh, they had, oh shit, they got pictures, bro. Blurry and you can't really tell who it is, but underage chick, they're saying, can they use that as evidence? I can't. Can you guys identify anything in that? As the staff members, he's got some drugs. Mr. Cohen's drug of what is that? Ecstasy, GHB. Not really. I don't never really heard of GHB before. Like I have, but I haven't. I don't know what that is. Sex worker that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his home. Damn. Wish I had like the party like a rock star, party like a rock. Yeah, get with the programming. Chase more money. Yeah, man. I think certain you like reach this certain level of like fame, and obviously he's got a lot of money from a lot of the stuff that he did. So it just all goes to his head, and all of a sudden they think that they're above everybody else and can start taking advantage of people, start turning drugs and drugging people and everything else. That shit is not bad. Seth Page. GHB is the date rape drug. Damn. Don't go partying with P. Diddy. Oh my God. As soon as I sent the video of his neighbor saying, tell him to bring all those minors over to his house. Wow. All right. Yeah, he about to get R. Kelly'd for sure. Damn. Okay. Okay. Olivia, how about the DHS actually worrying about thousands and thousands of brown people being human trafficked instead of this bullshit celebrity media play just to get us distracted? You got a point. You got a point there. That it's hard to disagree with that. I mean, that was something that we talked about last time on the show. I was like, people are protesting for all these things outside of our country. Meanwhile, our shit's just going down the toilet bowl. And people are like, oh yeah, well, I guess, no need to protest about that. Crazy. Yeah, but good point there, Olivia. That is true. Either way, I feel like oh, perfect. This one's sent to us by Jonathan Ortega. Look at this is the contribution I'm talking about, guys. Look at us. We're like doing the show at the same time. Like I came in saying, like, man, I wish I had a little bit more time to bring some of this together, and you guys are just helping me out. Appreciate that so much. Sean Diddy Combs' neighbor claims Diddy brings minors to his house by the busload. not even like one or two, like literally buses them over like they're Asian tourists. No photography allowed. By the busload. Late night thoughts. Let's hear what they have to say.
I bring all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. He like buses, like big ass buses. You just see all type of shit hop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm his neighbor. When my basketball go over there, I just let it be. I don't want to knock on the door. I tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. He like buses.
You do too much. Oh man, what do you guys think? Do you believe the neighbor like that, or do you think it's just somebody trying to like get their like 15 minutes of fame? I don't know. That's interesting. That's not good for the old didster. But yeah, you could only hear so much about those type of people like Diddy or these other celebrities that claim to do all this weird stuff or take advantage of people, and eventually their time comes. Eventually their time comes. Now the interesting thing is kind of like what Olivia just said. Like, did their time conveniently come so we could pretend like, and I don't even know who the we or the they is in this. We could just use the blanket term the Matrix, I guess, if you guys will buy that. But like if they, the Matrix, are doing this to distract from something else, like so they catch this person to say that we're doing something, but then we do that so all the other stuff that's more important or should be more important skates by. Interesting. Rambler thinks the neighbor was a attention clout. Fuck, you can't even trust your neighbors nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. But it'll be interesting. We'll continue to kind of follow that story as it unfolds here a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna get in. I know you guys are like CMO. That's why there's 180 of us here today. I know, and I'm milking it. I'm going to put that last. I'm putting it last. We got 30 minutes into the show so far. No CMO talk yet, but we will get there. I do promise. Hold on one second here, guys. Let me look up the other piece that I wanted to show you here. The shitty part is I don't think I could like show any of these videos that are on YouTube, and there was not a lot about negative capability. And John Keats is the poet that was. Keats. We'll just bring him up because he was the person that kind of like developed this whole thing here. 1 second. Negative capability letter. Okay. All right. So if you guys know, I've pitched his books quite a few times. Robert Greene is one of my all-time favorite writers. His books are dense. And if you get the audio version, it might you're going to look at it and it's going to be like 28 hours or something. It's going to take you to get through it. And don't let that stop you. Try to chip away at it. There's so much information in his books, and he uses a lot of classical history to illustrate some of the points that he's making. So the first book that I actually read of his is called is called Mastery. It was a great book. And this is from chapter 5 here. To put negative capability into practice, you must develop the habit of suspending the need to judge everything that crosses your path. Okay, so we're going to unpack that real quick. I don't see color, Matt. That's good. You're colorblind. So what is negative capability? Are any of you guys familiar with this? Are any of you guys familiar with negative capability? Have you heard of that before? So this is John Keats here, who was a poet that from way back when. And he wrote a letter kind of analyzing Shakespeare and like great writers and how they're able to do what they do. And he's kind of been coined the inventor, the conception of this, the theory of all this, that negative capability pertains to the ability to live within a pentarilium of mystery or deal with unanswered questions. And basically, it's being able to deal with the unknown. And I'm going to show you guys a graph here as to like why this might matter. A theory first articulated by John Keats about the artist's access to truth without the pressure and framework of the logic or the science. And so there's multiple different, if you guys like Google search this and listen to some of the other pieces on him, it'll kind of unfold a little bit more about, about what that means, but we're going to digest it here for what it means for us. And I hope this helps apply to business. So negative capability is being able to navigate through the unknown and uncertainty, but still be able to move forward. The negative capability, I like this graph here as it kind of represents a little bit of the take home that I hope to give, which is invisible leadership. Number one, resist the false necessity of hasty conclusions and actions unless vital to goals. We talked a little bit about this last week where I said, like, who sets your standard? And then on top of that, if something happens, are you just going to like react to that in a negative way? Are you going to let that change kind of the way that the path that you're on? And so I gave the example that if it doesn't pertain to like your ultimate goal or the vision or the direction that you've created for yourself and to where you're going in life, you could start to just discard a lot of stuff that happens to you because, I heard somebody else is talking shit about this or that. And then now all of a sudden you're completely unfocused. You move on over and you start focusing on the negative things that were said. You start, getting this back and forth and gossiping about the other person, all this. And really none of that interaction has to do with what you're trying to accomplish. Right? So keeping the main thing, regardless of what happens, you ask yourself, is this worth my time? Is this going to get me further to the goals and the vision that I set for myself? Or is this going to deter me in a negative way? And so just to read the first portion of it again, resist the false necessity of hasty conclusions or actions unless vital to goals. It's an emotional management. It's continuing to develop the space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond to it, not just react, because reaction isn't an intelligent, thought through response. It's a reaction. The second one along this graph here says, set aside egotism, focus on common good and shared goals. So if you're dealing with that conflict with somebody on your team, or I heard, hey, so-and-so said this, and you know that you have to work with this person, rather than addressing those issues, may not be vital. You could choose to discard it, choose to focus on the fact that, like, hey, maybe we just need to just keep moving everything forward. I'll find the good out of this person and the situation and keep focused on my own goals. So if you're a coach or if you're an affiliate owner, this the first two really apply, because people are going to come and go from your gym all the time. And so if they leave the gym and they say, oh, it wasn't for me, or they might give some other excuse, whatever. I didn't like the class times. I didn't like the programming. I didn't get the most out of the coach. Okay. So you could take that information and you could use it for good, or you could take that information and you could just use it for bad. You could say, well, that member wasn't a fit here anyways. They sucked. Or you could say, hey, there might be some truth in what they were saying. Let me kind of look at the experience that's happening in the class and make necessary adjustments. But above all, you want to make sure that to some degree you preserve that relationship, because if somebody's leaving the gym, or whatever, no longer, if your coach is no longer coming to your class hour as much and you found something happened, right? The best thing that you could do is end that relationship on a good note and make it super easy for them to quit the gym or put their membership on hold and leave a good taste in their mouth as they leave. I know I said good taste in their mouth, and now the comment section is going to take that somewhere else. But if you do that, the next interaction that somebody has with them that might not be when you're present, right? So somebody leaves my gym, they're like, hey, it's not for me, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, no problem. We are, thankful that you were here for your time. If anything ever changes, you could go ahead and come back. If you're smart, you have an exit survey. So you might have something that they answer a few questions. So you could give them an opportunity to give you some feedback, or take the feedback that they want to give you and be able to utilize that to help make your gym better, right? And improve it. And so if you do that and you preserve the relationship, next time they're out talking about it, one of their friends randomly says like, hey, have you been over to CrossFit Livermore? They're going to think of that experience as they left, and they're going to be like, yeah, I actually liked it a lot. I didn't have time in my schedule to go as much as I wanted to, but if you're thinking about CrossFit, you should definitely check them out, right? Because you left on a good note. Regardless of what happened, you decided, hey, what's my ultimate goal here? Is just to make sure that this relationship is somewhat preserved. They live on a good note, so that way they don't have any negative things to say, or at least that's not top of mind as they talk about you or your gym somewhere else. So kind of relating to that, the third one on this chart, as we continue to go down, it's in this circular motion here. Take time to get facts, discover, self-reflect, listen. So again, that's where we talk about, if we applied it to somebody leaving the gym, you could take the exit survey, you could have a conversation with them, you could listen to about what their experiences was, get the facts of it, self-reflect on it. Like, hey, is this just a them thing, right? Or is there actually some truth in there that you could utilize to improve your gym, improve their class experience, or just improve yourself in general? The fourth one on this list, as we're starting to climb back up the circle here, is be open and inflexible to diversity and alternative views. A lot of times we get really stuck like in our own ways and stuff like that. And somebody that might come with a fresh perspective, rather than just immediately discarding it and being like, nah, what do they know? They don't know shit. Take a moment there and think about it. And then have the flexibility to make small adjustments and try stuff out, because you never know where that next great advice is going to come from. And if you're constantly thinking like, oh, well, they can't see from where I'm sitting at, they don't have my perspective or whatever, so what do they know? And you immediately discard it. You might be missing a really valuable piece of information in a fresh perspective that you could utilize to your advantage to help you, again, move towards your goals or your vision of yourself that you're working towards. Okay, number 5, as we go all the way back up to this circle here before it restarts back at number 1. Number 5 is consider, apply alternatives, and act. So taking that information and actually like applying it, right? Taking that feedback, applying it, seeing where it fits in, and everything else. And so the negative capability portion was this kind of framework of, if you're doing stuff and you're out in the unknown and you're trying new things or you're trying to be creative, you could utilize this wheel here to get information back and then articulate it in a way that is going to be to your advantage, rather than just going back to negative shit or falling into the, the back and forth shit talking or something like that. Right. We'll go through some questions here now. It sounds about right. We tend to get 1/4 of the numbers of the likes watch. You guys, if you're watching this on your phone, by the way, which I really appreciate you guys saying hit the like button, all that. I don't do enough. So hit the like button if you already haven't. Ding. It doesn't refresh on your phone. Like if you close the whole entire app and then you come back on, it'll refresh the number of likes that's there. Now, if somebody writes back and says, I'm on my desktop and it refreshes all the time and there's not enough likes, then you're probably right. And thank you for having people cue to that. Why would you think us about that, Souza, Judy Reed, why would you think that about us, that we would twist that comment and leave taste in mouth? Because I know you guys all too well. I knew you were going to do. I knew what you would do. Name this tinfoil mat. Dude, wait, CrossFat, wait till you guys, when you see the title come up and it says CrossFit Illuminati, I have evidence. We're doing the tinfoil hat episode because we're going to break down the NSCA case and we're going to get our tinfoil hats on and we're going to go down that road. Some of you guys know which one I'm talking about. We're going to go down that road. Christian Kelter, Matt, what's your average client life cycle? Interesting question. I'll tell you here in a minute, but I want to pose back, like, I wonder what you're going to do with that information. Why do you want to know? Why do you want to know? I could tell you exactly what it is. Look up the exact one. So negative capability. I hope that framework of that chart there helped you guys out a little bit in terms of like being able to utilize that new phrase. And it's helped me out a little bit. And so I wanted to, now I'm distracted because I'm trying to look up this exact number for Christian here. Yeah. So anyways, check that out. Hopefully you guys could apply that to your life and somehow and continue to move forward toward your goals. Dude, I don't know if I could find on here, and I feel like it's going to get messy with a lot of dead air time as I'm getting distracted. I got to calculate the math here. The average life cycle of a member at my gym at CFL is 3 years and 3 months. 3 years and 3 months. So, or 1,206 days. And one of the things that we have, I just wanted to make sure that was accurate, but one of the ethos that we have with Albert and I, who coaches the gym and the members, is I say that if we get them for 3 months, we'll have them for 3 years. And so what that means is if we really make their experience great for the first 3 months of the gym, most importantly, we assimilate them into the community really well. So they have some friends, they're coming to a consistent class time. They really feel that the coach is like engaged with them, is adding value, helping correct their movement. They're seeing progress in the gym because we're encouraging them to write down their PRs. We're encouraging them to log their workouts. So when they come back to the benchmark workouts and what have you, they could see that progress being measured. We also have other opportunities for them in the nutrition realm, whether they join the challenge at the beginning of the year or whether we do like an embody scan, which is another marker for them to start to gauge their progress on. All those things really help. And if you do that really well within the first 90 days or so of them being there, we tend to, on average, get them for 3 years and 3 months. So if we get them for the first 3 months, we'll keep them for 3 years. That's kind of the ethos that we have there. Christian, comparing to my own gym out of curiosity. Yeah, there you go, dude. I hope that was good. I have probably a dozen members I could think of offhand that's been with me for more than 10 years as well too. Most of my coaches have been with me for 10 plus years as well too. So the coaching portion is something I'm real proud of. To be able to have all those coaches for as long as we have has been awesome. And yeah, and I have all that data. Maybe we'll do a breakdown of that one time. We could use my gym and I'll just throw it out there. I'll talk about lifetime cycle, like lifetime value of a customer. We could talk about churn rate. We could talk about average members coming in and stuff like that. We could kind of nerd out on the business side. Seth Page. Seth, what's up, dude? Seth, by the way, I'll shoot you my number. I really want to do one of those old school video breakdowns with you. I watch those that you do, and it's really cool. It's super nostalgic and stuff. I'd love to do that with you. So I'll shoot you my number and we'll square away a time. Seth Page, the tough part is sorting through all the noise to find the valuable feedback. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there is a lot of noise. And to be honest, a lot of the feedback you'll probably end up discarding. But it is worth kind of like really thinking through and just making sure you don't get in so much of a habit that you're immediately pushing anything, any advice coming to you out immediately, which not speaking to you directly because I know you don't. But Athena could invite me over for dinner anytime, like Massey. Cool. Mason Mitchell, do you do membership contracts? No, we don't. No membership contracts. You could actually pause and cancel anytime 3 days before the billing cycle. And that's been my policy from the start, which at times, especially in the early days when I had no money, no real profit, and you were just getting started, that was a tough policy to uphold, right? Usually you would require like 30 days notice or something like that. But I've done the cancel at any time or put your membership on hold at any time. And it's worked good when you give people the control and the autonomy. Plus, too, I'm not going to start like hunting people down, right, for like their memberships and stuff like that. Like, and I went to a jujitsu studio that had the contracts and stuff like this like years back. And I hated that because it just makes you feel like locked in, even though I probably would have stayed for like whatever the 6-month period that I signed up for or something. Like, it just makes you feel like locked into it. And then what are you going to like come after me if I cancel my card or something? And then in which case you have to like pull directly from the bank. Like, it gets messy. So for me, no. And I'm not saying there's anything against contracts or like 30-day requirement for billing or like anything like that. But for us, we've relatively operated cancel or pause at any time. And I've done well with that so far for me personally. I like it. The pod did with Dan was unreal, very similar to my own facility. And we're with Two Brain Business Growth Phase, hopefully be where he is eventually. Yeah, that was a great episode, huh? Hold on. File a suit on a member. Send it to collections. Mason Mitchell, send it to collections. Yeah, you could. Okay, so we're going to step out into the unknown here, and we're going to meet Jenna. I don't know how to say her last name. Like everything else, right? You guys know I'm so terrible at pronouncing these last names. Haka? Jenna Haka? Is that what we're going to go with? Guys, you feeling that? Am I way off? Okay, so Brian over at the Barbell Spin did this 2 weeks ago, introducing Jenna here to the community as the new CMO. And the first thing we'll kind of do here is roll through some of these comments. And we'll react to a few of these comments, kind of gauge the temperature of the room by some of these. And then we're going to go over to our LinkedIn and we're going to kind of check out her bio and some of her stuff, where she's come from. And the reason why I'm using LinkedIn, if you guys remember, I did the same thing with Jada Coons when I did a solo show like a couple weeks back. So I just figured it was only fitting. We'll do the same thing as we are here. Let me see. Okay, so hold on 1 second here. Sounds good. I'm about 15 minutes behind, FYI. Okay. I got a lot of my days backed up back to back. So whenever something like happens and it spills over, like next thing you know, the whole thing kind of has this domino effect. So I have a meeting here, and right as I finish up, I'll be jumping on with that. Okay. So yeah, classic LinkedIn. That's right, Dan Guerrero, classic. Okay, so Jenna Haka, we're going with it. Nobody disagreed. Sounds good to me. Judy Reed says it sounds good to her. Then that is good enough for me. Matt, I feel bad. I dropped in at a different CrossFit Livermore a decade ago. I've owned the same CrossFit Livermore. It was CrossFit that I bought in 2013 and then moved it to CrossFit Livermore. And then there's also CrossFit 580. Where is John? So I don't know if Was it the same one? I don't know. Maybe it was mine. Hopefully it was mine. Hopefully it was a good experience. But if it was 10 years ago, I guarantee you we weren't as good as we are now. That was the gym. What was the gym? Damn it, I said 3 names. CrossFit. You gotta tell me, was it CrossFit or was it 580 or was it mine? Matt just dropped I have a heart out. No. We're chilling. We're chilling. I just moved that back a little bit more. May 2013. It was Crazy, dude. Okay, so that was just when you dropped into CrossFit it was just open gym, right? And like the workout of the day was by CrossFit.com. It was just scribbled on these big whiteboards, and it was just kind of like there was no real class time. It was do whatever you feel. And what's nuts is like you dropped in May. I purchased it with my original business partners in November. And then making that switch to like structured classes, people starting on time, the coaches actually coaching, delivering like our own programming. Woo, that was an interesting road. That was an interesting road to travel. Took about a month and a half to really get everybody on board with that. We could talk about that at a different time. Okay, back to Jenna over here. This is from the Barbell Spin, the fastest, most trusted news in the CrossFit space. Jenna has been named Chief Marketing Officer at CrossFit. Jenna comes from Barry's, where she was the Senior VP Marketing in Digital. All right, and now we're just going to kind of react to the comments. We have one here. How hard is it to hire people that do CrossFit? That's an interesting comment. It would be significant limiting the hiring pool. They should hire for the best role, period. Okay, I agree with Eric there. I do think that it is important that the people that they're hiring have familiarity with the methodology. Point blank. Like you need to take the L1, you need to study that material, you need to know that material to know what CrossFit is. I will stand by that from the CEO all the way down to whatever the lowest person on the totem pole that is hired at CrossFit. Like I think all of them should be super well versed in the methodology, because that is where the seed that everything came from. And so without the ability to really understand the methodology deeply, I do think that should I do what to Grace what Sevon does to Haley? Hi baby, you're live on the show.
Oh, good God. Yep, talk to you later. Just bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah, she jumped out quick. So I think that they need to have the L1. They need to take in the L1. They need to really understand that methodology, as well as really be good in their roles. Okay. And for her, it's going to be marketing. Pool Boy said, why does that even matter? Yeah. I would encourage everybody to listen to the Born Primitive Comp. Okay. That has nothing to do with it. What the fuck is a berry? Hey, do you guys know what Barry Boot Camp is? Are you guys familiar with Barry's Boot Camp? It was super popular. I don't know if it's as popular, but it was popular like a couple years back. I remember a lot of people doing it, but it was kind of like this trendy, flashy, like CrossFit kind of knockoff, in my opinion. And remember, that is only from somebody who wasn't really familiar with Barry's Boot Camp. So if you are familiar with it, and I misrepresented it there, I apologize. But that's the way that it kind of looked at from me. Frank, how you doing, pal? Imagine if the board members were affiliate owners. Could give them a good perspective. Again, I'm going to die on the hill of that. They need to have the methodology down. Like they need to really understand the methodology. Still pretty popular. Jenny. Yeah, it is still popular too. Okay, cool. Somebody talking about the open. That comment seems too long. Bunch of people in here who don't look outside of the CrossFit space for information, inspiration, and insight for their business model. As an affiliate owner, I'm excited to see what she could bring to the table. Cool. That's a good one. That's positive there. This is great for the fitness side. Now hire someone for the sports side and brand them separately. Interesting. That's an interesting comment. That's something that I've always thought too. We should separate sport and methodology like big time. Another content for normal show. Can we Can we not just hire normal people that do CrossFit? Like, I'm sure we'd all agree we don't want CrossFit to be anything like Barry's, nor do we need it marketed as such. Just another corporate zombie jumping from company to company. Maybe if we want to reach people in a new, authentic ways, we should put more focus on the affiliates and less attention on what woke, quote unquote, Barry's, Planet Fitness, or Orange Theory members we can steal. CrossFit is for everyone, but not everyone is for CrossFit. That's an interesting comment. And you know what? I don't know that a correct judgment on what she's going to bring to the table would be mimicking something that Barry's Bootcamp does. But you guys have to remember that the board is going to position CrossFit in a way that'll be attractive to other private equity companies that probably have fitness brands in their portfolio already. And there needs to be some sort of continuity between the way that those brands operate. So that way the private equity company that's going to buy CrossFit feels comfortable buying CrossFit because it's very similar to the other fitness brands that they have in their portfolio. Kind of a mouthful there, but that's why I think that it's slowly positioning to be kind of like these other ones. The Orange Theories, F45s, whatever. She developed Barry's X concept. Very excited for this edition. Welcome, Jenna. I did see that when I read over her profile stuff. I don't know what Barry's X is, but I think it's some sort of digital stuff. I'll give her a chance. However, a big red flag and white flag is that she's from Canada, and the DEI woke shit is absolutely cornerstone bedrock here. Just look at what psychologists, just look at what the psychological board is doing with Jordan Peterson and trying to literally re-educate him. First question I'd ask is if she'd vote for trade. That will tell you all you will need to know. I don't know about that one. I think that we should give her a chance in terms of like how she's going to act and the things that she'll bring off her own merit, and not kind of judge her based off of like, you know, the fact that she's from Canada or something like that. We got to give some space and we got to give her some time to do some work. Otherwise, I think that we fall into the same camp as people that would immediately judge somebody for something that they did in the past or something like that and say, hey, you're not on our team. Now we need to cancel you. You shouldn't have this job. Like, that's a real tough line to follow when we haven't actually seen what she's going to do for CrossFit, good or bad. So I think making a snap judgment based off like where she's from and assuming that it's a DEI hire and there's like woke is the cornerstone, I think that would be, in our opinion, we wouldn't be exercising our negative capabilities. We got to suspend that judgment and hasty reaction based off some of the information we have and wait till we get more information to make us a true judgment. What's her Fran time? Murph, Helen, how is she doing in the open? Completely fucking irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. I don't think that that matters. I would never so we're interviewing a new coach. By the way, shout out Mike Poolboy for recommending her to the gym. We're interviewing a new coach right now. And can you imagine if I started the interview and I was like, okay, so welcome, new coach. Oh, what's your Fran time? How'd you do on Murph? Use a vest? You do an RX? Oh, you didn't? Well, can't be a coach here. That has nothing to do with their coaching ability. And in fact, some people, when they come in and they are forward with that, like, oh, I'm a competitor and here's my Fran time and here's this and here's that. I'm like, fuck, what does that have to do with you coaching my members? I didn't hire you to be a competitor representative of the gym because you have the fastest Fran time or Murph time. I hired you because hopefully you're really great at coaching, really great at investing in people, and you're going to like deliver something that is going to be valuable to my members. And your Fran time or your Murph time is not in that equation. I don't know. What's her Fran time? Again, enjoying her first open. They put that in quotations. I don't know if that's kind of like tongue in cheek. That's fine. Like, I think that there's going to be this dog and pony show that all the execs are like doing the open and, hey, I'm at my local affiliate participating. But like, what else do we expect from them, guys? Like, we can't judge them for not being a part of the community or CrossFit. But then when they come into an affiliate and do the open, be like, oh, look, they're just doing it for a PR stunt. It's like, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt there. This comment section, unfortunately, shows a dark side of CrossFit that is holding it back while they're doing the most to push it forward. Okay. Not sure. Wow, some ones about honestly, I'm out. Interesting. New Savon. Interesting. People complaining about this hire must not even know what a CMO does. Good comment by Pull Boy there. The great glass mod. So they fired Keith Knapp, who was an affiliate owner and clearly dedicated to the growth of CrossFit. I mean, he has skin in the game and is an affiliate owner. Now CrossFit has hired a new woke. We don't know that. A new woke marketing officer for the non-CrossFit fitness company from another non-CrossFit fitness company. What a joke. Well, Keith also wasn't CMO, but I don't agree with the spirit of that comment a little bit. Like Keith was a solid dude. Like he was in the trenches with us. He was an affiliate owner. He was doing that, in my opinion. These are my words, not his. I think he was doing that so he actually had more insight onto how to better serve all the affiliate owners and do his job. Which who knows? We might see him again shortly. Okay, a couple other bats. Now we're going to have to have quote unquote pride shoved down our throats. I don't know about that either. Okay, so that was the initial reaction from some of the community there in terms of Barbell Spin releasing her as a new hire. What are you guys' thoughts here? She said yes to the job. She did. Yep. Christian, hey, easy on Canada. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, I'm not going to just judge everybody. Adrian Bosman's from Canada. He's a solid dude. Great dude. Really cool to hang out with too. You mean like anyone CF hires as a media team? Here's the deal, guys. CrossFit's never going to bring back media in that form. Private equity companies don't like to have the overhead of bringing everything internally and then paying all those salaries. We saw kind of what will happen with media in terms of the sports side, where they're going to outsource that to somebody that they'll bring in to hire to create the doc. Where is that doc, by the way? You guys remember that whole entire documentary crew that was at the games? People complained about our shit taking too long. So I think that a lot of their shit's just going to be outsourced. It'll continuously be outsourced. I don't ever see him building an internal media team ever. Let's see. CrossFit, how many major community contributors weren't CrossFitters before they were CrossFitters? Great point. I need to go see Keith in his new gym. It's only 2 hours from me. Cool. Yeah, drop in. Tell him I said hi. Augustus, she did not post the back square, y'all. All right. Okay. I know how you guys like to judge the black square people. Frank, the real question is, why did it take PE 4 years to find a qualified CMO? Good question. Probably because they had to find a qualified CEO first. As we've seen that change hands multiple times. Later, Matt. Thanks for hanging out, brother. CJ Martin was a lawyer. I think Invictus has done okay. Mike McCaskey. The challenge is that CrossFit Corp doesn't likely pay market competitive rates to draw the best talent. True. We don't know. It's easier to outsource for the games and other comps than to just have a full-time media team hanging out. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they don't know how to utilize them. Like a lot of the media, I think some stuff today got posted from the CrossFit for Health Summit, but a lot of the media has been focused around sport. Like it has been. And so you're right. Like I don't think they would know how to utilize, or they want to carry the overhead of having a whole entire internal media team. Dildo, Pukey is the new DEI mascot. Everybody can puke equally as hard at the end of every workout. The Gains Lab. She developed Barry X during COVID. Barry's X is the at-home version. Cool. Thank you for that. We're asking about that. Clock, breaking news. Jenna Haka calls for re-establishment of the DEI Council and says it's absolutely necessary to boost CrossFit's marketing prowess. No, come on, guys. I don't think so. The Sebon podcast. Everything outsourced has failed. Can't argue with that. Get Russell to call her and ask her for her stance on the women's bathroom. Gosh, Jake, buddy. Jake. Okay, so let's read a little bit about her, shall we? That was kind of the snap judgments that we saw from the community. I'm going to bring up her LinkedIn here and we'll kind of go through it. So, great photo. I mean, her skin looks amazing, right? She looks healthy. She looks fit. Nope, no questions or complaints there as we judge her photo there. Let's see, where could we find more info about her? Okay, cool. So this is all right, so we'll start with what she wrote here. It says this is from Jenna here. This is on her LinkedIn. I'm excited to share that I've stepped into the new position of Chief Marketing Officer at CrossFit LLC. In this role, I'll be responsible for driving global growth and continuing the work of the established CrossFit as the brand, not just fitness, but health. Okay, so that's interesting. Driving global growth, meaning she's still going to look to open more affiliates across worldwide here. And continuing the work of establishing CrossFit as the brand of not just fitness, but of health. Okay, interesting. I'll be joining an incredibly talented team devoted team to expand CrossFit's global reach by supporting our 12,000 plus affiliate gyms in 140 plus countries while generating demand for new gyms and providing 360 support for the CrossFit Games. Interesting. Okay. Should we unpack that a little bit? I'll be joining an incredibly talented and devoted team to expand CrossFit's global reach by supporting our 12,000 affiliates. Okay, so that's interesting. I wonder what that support's going to look like. Is it going to look like in the form of media? I don't know what type of tools that they might develop digitally that might do this. So I'm curious as to what that support looks like. If we remember, this was very similar to Jada Coons' write-up. Very similar. In 140 plus countries while generating demand for new gyms. Generating demand for new gyms. Okay, cool. I wonder what the initiatives are that. Nothing wrong with new affiliates. And providing 360 support for the games. So 360 support basically means she'll be involved in all of it. See the circle that I'm making with my hand? This is 360. 360. It's like that's another corporate thing too. They do like a 360 review where they would take like your superior, somebody who works underneath you, somebody who works with you, and like they all give you like this review and feedback. It was called like a 360 review. It's really hot during the corporate stuff a few years back. Not sure if they still do those. Man, I just anytime I see like somebody having dual roles with like her supporting affiliates and then opening new affiliates, but then I see the portion of the CrossFit Games in there, I'm always like, okay. Interesting. It's an absolute honor to serve a brand that has been in the business of saving, improving, and transforming lives for more than 20 years. And I'm eager to join the efforts of amplifying this mission. Cool. Thank you so much to the team for your belief in me, and I look forward to making you proud. And then she lists a couple people: Dawn Fall, Annette Rivas. I think she's the HR lady. Jada Coons. Oh, well, you guys know him. VP affiliate Nicole Carroll, Dave Castro, and Ben McAllister. Hashtag CrossFit, hashtag CrossFit Games, hashtag new job, hashtag CMO. So that was from her kind of announcing her new role in there. So nothing really quite that you could like hold on to and things like that. But at the same time, like she's not going to like spell out everything that she's doing. She's brand new. They're just announcing her as a hire. So she's kind of just wrapping it from a 35,000 foot view and giving you like what she's going to be working on in a nutshell here. So we'll pause for a minute before we go into her bio and we'll look at a few of the other one. She has a girlfriend. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. The community has the talented needed. 100%. 100%. It's all right in front of us here. Suze's face just what I needed, an afternoon pick me up. Oh, thanks, Elise. That's a nice comment. One of the comments that snuck in from Heidi, one of the other shows, she's like, "Oh, I watch him on mute." Like, Thanks. I think that's a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment. Okay, we're back at the top of these comments. She cares about fitness and posts about fitness. Give her props. Agreed. That's cool. That's cool. Chris Birthfield, is she gay? Yes, I do believe she is. I don't think that has anything to do with her role or what she'll bring to the table, though. But just a fact, I guess. Justin, where's CrossFit HQ? That is a great question. CrossFit HQ is everywhere, and it's in our hearts. Yeah, there's no home office anymore, if that's what they called it. There's no headquarters, like as a physical location. But man, do I remember driving out to like Santa Cruz area, and you'd pass by Scotts Valley, and you could see the old headquarters from the freeway. I forget which freeway it is. One, maybe. And as you drive by, you could like see and be like, oh, there's CrossFit HQ. And like years back, Grace and I were out there for whatever, probably just vacation or something like that. And we like drove back there just to like see it, even though it was like a Sunday, middle of the day. So we know it'd be closed. And they had the big rig out in front of it. They had like some tires and some sleds out there. And that's something that I thought was really cool because there wasn't like an official, at least not that I remember, there wasn't like an official sign that said like CrossFit or like CrossFit headquarters. There was this big kind of tan, almost like log cabin feel. It wasn't a log cabin, but it just reminded me of some buildings that are out in Tahoe. And it was awesome because when you drove by the back of it, you immediately knew which one it was. You're like, yep, there it is. There's the CrossFit headquarters. It's got a rig out front. It's got exercise equipment. And when they used to open up the back bay door, it was a whole entire like affiliate that was inside there. That was really cool. And to not have that now, big mistake. So yeah, we don't know where CrossFit HQ is. Will they promote the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum? I hope so. Most of the best talent in media production editing are all external freelancers, not staffers. Pay day rates and keep them off the books for half the year. Yep. Yeah. Chris, it's 12K now. Yep. I don't know if you guys saw, I think Hiller posted something where like the numbers had kind of kept changing a little bit, right? So we don't really know what it is. Haven't seen Don Fondle in here lately. Hope he's doing all right. Damn it. I thought that was a thing about Don Fall. I guess this. Sevon podcast. Growth was driven for 15 years by giving away free content that added value in tools to the community. Now the plan for growth is marketing. Yeah. Yep. You're not wrong. Chris, OL makes me laugh every time. Me too. Tech marketing is her specialty. Okay. Maybe she can run Facebook ads. Seth Page. Yeah. Yeah. She's going to buy some media, something like that. Maybe she could get CrossFit to show up when you search gyms near me. I hope so. I hope so. She watches you on Moot and Diddles. First one's probably true. Second one, probably not. Let's see if there's any more. Okay, Jonathan Ortega. She's an avid hiker. She likes hiking and big ass mountains too. That's cool. I like hiking. Call it rucking now. Throw backpack on. Perfect for the new sponsor. 61 likes, over 50% of the views liked. Good job. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the likes. I'm not gonna read some of you guys' like ridiculous ones. Come on now. 7. Great. Okay. So now on to her bio. This was interesting because this is also underneath her like about stuff with the beautiful profile. Malialo, contact info, activity, about. Here we go. So this was the about section of it here. And it's interesting because it was written by somebody else, or at least like the way that it reads here. Which is cool. Just something to know. Nothing really crazy about that. Jenna is a marketing, digital, and innovation executive, currently serving as chief marketing officer at CrossFit. Prior to CrossFit, she conceptualized and built Barry's first ever digital business, Barry's X. She also led the global marketing, digital, and technology practices at Barry's. And I'm not familiar with those, so I wish I could give you guys something tangible about what that meant, but I'm not sure. When she joined Barry's in 2018, she led the company digital transformation of the brand, including the launch of its first client-facing mobile applications, all current web properties. Okay. And groundbreaking digital hospitality and marketing programs, including the first of its kind loyalty program, the Academy. Interesting. In the process of building Barry's X, Jenna oversaw the development of live production studios in major markets across the country with a blueprint set for global expansion. She recruited and led the first ever production, digital talent management, and digital production teams at Barry's. Prior to joining Barry's team, she oversaw digital innovation, analytics, and business development for a New York City-based marketing agency, was a volunteer firefighter. That's cool. A nationally registered EMT, and played NCAA Division I ice hockey at Princeton University, where she studied neuroscience, and her thesis on dietary predictors of substance abuse was published in the Journal of Psychology and Behavior. She currently resides in Santa Monica with her rescue pit bull, Storm, and is a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community. So that's her bio. A lot of cool stuff in this, especially towards the end. Like a volunteer firefighter and an EMT. That's cool. Played Division I ice hockey at Princeton. I mean, that's pretty cool. To play Division I anything, you know that she was like fucking a stud, right? Like, even if it is like ice hockey, which I don't imagine the pool is like huge for that, to be Division I, like you have to know how to work hard. You have to put hours into the gym. You have to be focused on your nutrition, your recovery, and everything like that. She was a neuroscience, and her thesis was on dietary predictors for substance abuse, and was published in the Journal of Psychology and Behavior. Okay, that's cool. All right, so there's definitely some like good stuff within that bio. There was a couple of things that like we obviously don't understand and can't wrap our heads around, like all the digital stuff that happened with Barry's boot camp, just because like I don't know what any of that is. And like it's super vague from this 30,000. Like, did global developments, you guys remember like Step Brothers where they're like on that boat and it's like worldwide investors, how about you? Like some of those buzzwords are really like kind of aloof and they don't tell you anything. But the fact that she was a Division I at Princeton and was a volunteer firefighter shows at least the fact that she like knows what it's like to work hard. Christian, Division I's hockey equals boys AAA 13-year-olds. That's not fair. You don't know that. You don't know that. What else do we got here? The dog or her. I studied substance abuse in college too. All right, see, Chris, giving her the thing. What is this? Is this a Twitch comment? Hi, Twitch comment. Any plans of upping the Twitch channel? There's a lot more you could do to increase viewership, like posting the daily videos, etc. Does Twitch have restrictive TOS or something? I don't even know what TOS is, but hi, welcome from Twitch. All right, so what do you guys think? Think about her bio. Pitbull, red flag. That's not true. Hiller's got a pitbull. He's got two. Prestige worldwide. Corey gets it. Yeah, so overall, terms of service. Thank you. Babar Funk. Thanks for that. The Barry CEO plans for rapid expansion, yet she leaves. Maybe like these executive types only have like a 3-year to like 5-year at most window at most of these jobs. Like that's their deal. They like come in and like do their thing and then like leave. Like that's just so even if the CEO plans for rapid expansion, like her part may have been like positioning for whatever that means. And then once that was done, like somebody else got brought in. So it could be that. the Savon podcast, I tried out for a college frisbee team. Cool. Um, Ralph Alvarez, please volunteer firefighter. Where? I think it says it down here. Princeton Fire Department responded and assessed a variety of firefighter rescue and medically related emergencies. Their neuroscience for 2008 to 2011, 2 years, 7 months. She was a volunteer firefighter for 4 years, from 2007 to August of 2011. Generator Media and Analytics, Vice President, Director of Digital, Associate Director. So she, within the 7 years of this company here, Generator Media plus Analytics, she kind of worked her way up from Associate Director to Vice President. So she knows how to climb the corporate ladder. She was at Barry's for 5 years, 9 months, so almost 6 years. For somebody that's in an executive like C-suite position, that probably is a really long time for those people in terms of life cycle. Led the digital transformation and launched the foundational technology platforms necessary to support a 20-year-old brand ahead of its most exciting phase of growth. The website and e-commerce site relaunched and replatformed, launched its first ever mobile apps, launched the Academy, the first of its kind loyalty program, the digitalization of the client-facing challenges and profiles to drive loyalty and retention, launched the first ever paid media programs. So that's going to be buying ads. During COVID, launched Barry's at home Zoom. So it was done on Zoom at home, and subsequently Barry's X, the proprietary app, obviously, that they developed off the back of that. Barry's first ever digital fitness platforms. Okay, so that gives us something tangible as far as like what she did with her time at Barry's boot camp, which that's cool. I mean, that's a lot of stuff there. I don't really know what metrics are tied to any of that, but at least that like anchors it a little bit more. She did a lot of like digital development, website, e-commerce, an app, a loyalty program. Loyalty program is like super corporate. Like if you buy 10 sandwiches on your 11th one, it's free. Okay. We'll end it there. I try to keep these under an hour, but slowly they've gotten longer and longer. But that's kind of our introduction to Jenna. And I think that there's some cool stuff in there. There's some other stuff that's just kind of like 30,000 foot view business vernacular that we'll have to kind of see what that translates out to for us as CrossFitters. But here's how we do it. I think just like anybody who is walking into my affiliate, we give them an opportunity to showcase what they're doing, right? What type of value is she going to bring to the space? What type of initiatives will she do? Will these be valuable to affiliates? Will these be valuable to getting more certs? Will these be valuable to the continued growth of CrossFit globally? We will find out. But I think that we should not pass early quick snap judgment, as we talked about in the negative capability diagram. I think we give her the space and some time to see what happens and to go from there. And then afterwards, we'll see what type of work she produces and what happens out of CrossFit, and then we could reassess at that time. Souza, you don't know how these exec titles work at small mediums. They're handed out like candy. Yeah, you're probably absolutely right. And you're right that I don't like know how they work internally like that, because I've never worked for like a corporation in that sense. Like I've been an entrepreneur. I hate when people use that term. Frank, we will find out about her plan in 12 to 18 months. Just don't leave until then. Who was it who said, when you hire a team leader, you are just getting someone who is good at leading a team. We need someone who's willing to get in the trenches, but I'll give her a chance. I agree with that. Like, we definitely have to see what happens. Souza, I need this show to last until 3 p.m. your time. No way. The marathon one that Sevon Hiller and Caleb did on Sunday, that was crazy. 4 hours and 20 minutes. That was nuts. All right, so that's gonna be our take on Jenna. I'm putting a positive spin on this on purpose, because I don't think that I don't like the whole fact of like somebody gets brought in, we don't know much about them, we make a bunch of snap judgments, and then we like just put a bunch of negative context to it. Like, let's go ahead and let's give her a chance. She's got some cool stuff. Love the volunteer firefighter thing. Love the fact that she was Division 1. She's healthy. She works out. All that's cool. Clearly smart and intelligent woman from her academic background and the jobs that she's had. And I'm curious to see how this plays out. Brad, Patty, breakfast talk. Do you have like a podcast or something, Brad? How you doing? Sue's a 13-year affiliate owner. They have been saying they will be positive change for the last 3 years. The only change I've seen is the new people in place of the ones that they fired or left. Yep, you said it, Brad. I can't necessarily disagree with that, but who knows? Maybe we got that. We should have given Josh Grew a chance too. That poor guy. But I do think we probably should have given him a chance. He got destroyed so quick. That was crazy. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, this has been the Tuesday show without a name so far. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that negative capability thing was all over the place. I thought about scrapping it so I could bring more consecutive like information behind it, but we got our way through it. I love the fact that you guys participated in the whole Diddy case and we got to kind of like go through that together as you sent me stuff in real time. That was really cool. So thank you for your participation in that. As always, if you haven't, head on over to Doc Spartan and buy yourself some Matuthian. It's the best possible thing you could do for your mouth and face. Matuthian. The only thing better than results is that good looking jar. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday if I don't before that. And as always, be good to each other out there. At the end of the day, it's kind of all we got.